Don't look back, boys, make a lot of noise. Tommy, we ain't got far to go. There's a great big heavenly rainbow on the horizon. Fire your guns, run them hoofbeats into this cold and muddy ground. There'll be women, wine, and better times when we roll into town. 'Cause it's been weird, it's been strange, been a long riding hard together through the driving rain. Hear the band playing their best. We came a long way from Vicksburg and we ain't going back again. Well, the cold gets into your bones, brother, the road works over your life. We've done some things left better off, unremembered. But you're thinking of the years and tears and the blood spent fighting to keep this dream alive. And you bite your lip, Willie, crack that whip. Let's hit the borderline. It's been weird, it's been strange, been a long riding hard together through the driving rain. Hear the band playing their best. We came a long way from Vicksburg and we ain't going back again. Open your eyes up and move it along here. Beat on your drum, let's shake a leg. We came a long way from Vicksburg and we ain't gone back again. We came a long way from Vicksburg and we ain't gone back again. Thank you, music lovers. Nobody gonna ride on the railroad. Went down Chestertown and he just said goodbye. Nobody gonna ride on the railroad. Once proud and shining, now she's dusty and dry. Nobody rides, can't you hear that soulful whistling in the wind? Nobody rides, jumped the rails and roared away round the bend. Nobody rides, say a prayer for every soul along the line. Nobody rides on the train that made this great land of mine. Nobody gonna dance to the music. Don't call the Union Hall, it's boarded up tight. Nobody gonna dance to the music. Nobody gonna dance to the music tonight. Nobody rides, can't you hear that soulful whistling in the wind? Nobody rides, jump the rails and roared away round the bend. Nobody rides, say a prayer for every soul along the line. Nobody rides on the train that made this great land of mine. Hold on, ah, dear old dad of mine, works fingers down to the bone. Hold on now, mama, don't you cry. I'll take you with me if I knew where to go. Hold on, ah, dear old dad of mine, works fingers down to the bone. Hold on now, mama, don't you cry. I'll take you with me, ma, if I knew where to go. But you're gonna walk on the water. Just sold my Bible for a good piece of bread. Nobody gonna walk on the water. Big train stole away and it left us for dead. Nobody rides, can't you hear that soulful whistling in the wind? Nobody rides, jumped the rails and roared away round the bend. Nobody rides, say a prayer for every soul along the line. Nobody rides on the train that made this great land of mine. Nobody rides. Nobody rides. Nobody rides. Ain't it no more? Nobody rides on the train that made this great land of mine. Nobody gonna ride on the railroad. Went down Chestertown and he just said goodbye. Nobody gonna ride on the railroad. Once proud and shiny, now she's dusty and dry. So as I'm sure you could tell from those first two songs, I'm from New York. So by a show of hands, how many people here tonight at the Tewksbury Library? Take your pick. Grew up in a state in the mountain or desert west? Raise your hand now. Don't be shy. If you grew up in a state in the mountain or desert west, raise your hand. Wow, no, we got one. Don't tell me California, dude. Okay, what is it? New Mexico. You qualify. We got one. All right. So I'm probably like the rest of you guys, you know. I grew up in the northeastern United States of America. Let's give it up for the northeastern United States of America. All right. You know, and I was 21 years old. I was about to start law school. And me and a friend decided to have a summer adventure. The classic summer trip for a 21-year-old guy. Two guys get in a car, drive across the country, see the sights of the West, chase girls across America. And like, we were clueless. Like, neither of us ever slept in a tent in our lives. We borrowed some half-assed equipment we didn't know how to use, and we threw it in the car and hit the road. So when I say we were clueless, like what I mean is our frame of reference, of course, was the Northeast, so we had no idea of concept of how big it is out there, and like how far apart everything is from everything else. Like, I remember one night we got to the Grand Canyon, and there were no campsites. So he said, screw it, let's go to Yosemite. And it was that kind of a trip. Drove through the Mojave Desert, managed not to kill ourselves through the night, didn't crash the car. Woke up the next afternoon in Yosemite National Park. 2 days later, we woke up in Yellowstone Park in Wyoming. And then we're like, come on, we can't go back to New York without seeing the Grand Canyon, right? So we just drove from Wyoming back to Arizona. And it was like that. It was like two guys, eyes bugging out of our heads, flipping out, exhilarated from what we were looking at, like can't believe it, treat the West like a Milton Bradley game, everywhere for 5 minutes and just going crazy. And I came back to New York and I started law school. But it was obvious to me, apparent to me, that something was different. Because all I wanted to do was get back out there. And so at the time, I don't know how familiar you guys are with Manhattan, but I lived on 24th Street, 9th Avenue in the Chelsea neighborhood of Manhattan. And for each of the next 5 summers in my 20s, late July or early August, I chose one destination in the West. And I drove from my apartment in Manhattan to that destination by myself for 5 straight summers after that first trip. So it got to be like part of my annual deal. It's like I lived in New York City, so I lived in an insane asylum. Once a year, I got to open the door, walk out of Nut House, get in my car, and hit the road and drive across the country. I came to so look forward to these drives. It's the only time in my life I've ever been hyper aware that we live on a ball that's turning, because I would start my day and the sun would be way behind me, and over the course of the day as I headed west, the sun would outrace my car and I could feel the turning of the earth. And like I said, I came to love those drives. Now the experience I had on those drives, that's no longer available to us, because I did not have a cell phone. So I crossed the Hudson River, and I wasn't going to be talking to anybody that knew the sound of my voice or seeing anybody recognize my face for days. I loved it. So I was on one of those drives, and my destination on this one particular drive, one particular summer, anybody here ever been to Glacier National Park in Montana? Now, we got a few of you, right? How many? Clap if you've been to Glacier National Park in Montana. All right. So on one of the rest of you guys really have something to look forward to, okay, that we can never experience again, the ones of us that have been. It's a jolt, all right? So this particular summer I'm going to refer to, I was heading to Glacier National Park for the first time. So I was driving from 24th Street, 9th Avenue to Glacier National Park in Montana. Now, let me explain for the rest of you guys that haven't been how you're going to drive there. Because basically you start out, you're stuck on the interstate. There's too many friggin' people. Until you get to Chicago, you're stuck on the interstate. But once you get west of Chicago, things start to thin out. And that's when you can hop off the interstate and get onto the 2-lane blacktop roads the interstate's replaced. For me, this is when the ride became interesting, because the environment came up to the car. I get on a 2-lane blacktop road. I could go 100 miles an hour and slow down to 30 when I hit the towns. They were further and further apart as I headed west. So the way you guys are going to go is once you get past Chicago, you're going to head northwest, up through Madison, Wisconsin, up to Duluth, Minnesota, where you're going to pick up US Route 2. Now, US Route 2 is a 2-lane blacktop road that goes across all of Minnesota. It goes across all of North Dakota, which is a big sucker. And then it dumps you out on the high plains of eastern Montana, which are referred to as, you guys have heard this term, the Big Sky Country. You've heard this term. See, I think Easterners think this has something to do with the Rocky Mountains. Big Sky Country are the high plains of eastern Montana, where the land starts to slope up out of the Midwest toward the Rockies. And the surface of the land is just dirt. And there are no trees. So you can see in every direction for hundreds of miles. It makes the sky enormous, and that's why they call it the Big Sky Country. So here I am. I've been driving for 4 days from New York City with nothing but my own thoughts to keep me company. And I'm out here on Route 2 out in the high plains of eastern Montana. The sun is low in the west, illuminating the clouds. And it occurs to me that I have not seen another motor vehicle for about 2 hours. And I mean I can see forever in every direction, which means I'm the only apparent living thing. And I live on 24th Street, 9th Avenue. So this is pretty cool. I thought this was really crazy, and I pulled over the side of the road, and I got out of my car, and I surveyed my situation after 4 days of driving. And I involuntarily started screaming at the top of my lungs. And I always think of that as the moment when I knew that this stuff was just about free. And I could have it for the rest of my life. This is a song called Montana. Don't know my mama, don't know my daddy, don't know my name or my place of birth. But when I got a look at the Big Sky Country, I knew I had a home on this earth. Montana, Montana, rocking me under your heavenly skies. Montana, Montana, gonna love you till the day I die. Got a home on a mountain, a home in the valley, I live on a lake. Live off the land when I get crazy. There's a flathead woman to tell me I'm her loving man. Montana, Montana, rocking me under your heavenly skies. Montana, Montana, gonna love you till the day I die. It's raining on the prairie. You can hear the angels sing. And there's a mist on the river, strips on the griddle. The sun's coming up on the great highway, with the Rockies rising in a cloud so gentle, you forever take my breath away. Montana, Montana, rocking me under your heavenly skies. Montana, Montana, gonna love you till the day I die. So yeah, there's one thing I noticed about being out there that was so different than my normal daily existence in New York City. That's that in my regular daily life, everything I had on my mind, every decision I had to make, whatever it was extremely important. Whatever I was thinking about, what I was going to have for lunch, whatever it was just all very significant. Now, I don't know if anybody here tonight knows what I'm talking about, but when I got out there, and as soon as I got out there, instantly and unmistakably, nothing was important right away. I wasn't important. It's counterintuitive, but I totally loved it, to have my attention so off of myself and into what I was looking at, what was going on outside of me, to have my attention so extroverted. I think that's what drove me out there, continuously still does today, is to capture that feeling, like when you're 4 years old and everything is thrilling to you, you have no attention on yourself. And that's what the West brings out of me. Now there's a flip side to this, to being a tiny little pinhead in a huge ocean of space. And that is that there are also lots of opportunities for getting into trouble. So I'm going to tell you a little story here on this one. Second-hand van. I'm headed west on the interstate. I had a mind to get a bite, and a bite I got, and a bite I gave. She asked me if I had a light. In the back, a band played Voodoo Child. I think I mumbled something dumb. She said, let's dance a little while. Pretty soon the room was getting hot. But I bought a beer. I felt my skin begin to scream when she whispered in my ear, time waits for no man. 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 She walked and talked me to the van. I opened up, she pushed me in. We joked and toked for 7 days, in a fit of lust, in a fit of sin. On the 7th night, we took a breath. She sent me out to get a pint. When I came back with a 5th of gin, my second-hand van was gone in the night. Time waits for no man. Time waits for no man. Time, no man. Time waits for no man. That's what she said, boy. Sat my butt down in the road. Could have laughed and I could have cried. Smelled the sage and the creosote. Stuck my thumb out for a ride. Bought a second-hand van and headed west on the interstate. I had a mind to get a bite, and the bite I got and the bite I gave. Woo! For no man. Time waits for no van. Time waits for no man. Time. Beautiful summer night. Used to put a buffalo on your money way back when, but now you chased them from creation. Hear tell that we will not be seeing them again, but I guess that's just the price of progress. And I won't stoop to ask for proof, won't ask which way they went. If you will keep my Buick on the highway. 'Cause in America, your mother can become the president. And you can make your fortune on the phone. Never seem to find the time for that little garden in the yard. I see my kids fully grown. Never understood why Daddy had to work so hard to get so very little done. But I won't stoop to ask for proof, won't ask which way they went. If you will keep my Buick on the highway. 'Cause in America, your mother can become the president. And you can make your fortune on the phone. Used to put a buffalo on your money way back when. But now you've chased them from creation. Here tell that we will not be seeing them again. But I guess that's just the price of progress. I'll give you a little of my backstory. It ain't pretty. I don't know if you guys, I was like, when I was in my 20s, like I was telling you, I was a bit wild, and I got sidetracked. I got involved with this drug. If you guys have gotten to this point in life, most of you guys are like past your 20s, looks like to me. If you got to this point in your life without taking LSD, no reason to start now is what I'm thinking. Do you know? And so, yeah, I lost it for a little bit there because I took LSD a little too much, and I lost my mind for a couple of years. Dropped out of college and somehow worked my way back, put it back together. And then I was trying to figure out what am I going to do with my life, And I was sitting in a car with a friend of mine in Long Island where I graduated from high school. We were sitting in a car on Hempstead Turnpike on Long Island. We were smoking a joint, and I said, I don't really know what I want to do. And he said, well, why don't you go to law school? And I was stoned. It sounded good. It was like one of those moments where somebody says something that kind of gets in there, It's just the right thing at the right, And then he said, hey, you could always use a law degree. So I thought maybe I'll go to law school. I was living in New Jersey. I had a job, day gig there, and I was a state resident. Rutgers had a night law school, and it was state tuition, and I did well on the LSATs, and I got in and started law school. I loved it. I didn't have some burning purpose to be a lawyer, but I found the subject, the study of the law, very interesting, stimulating, intellectual, because you're studying really the rules that have evolved over centuries, that we've all kind of made agreements and figured out these are the rules that need to be so we don't like kill each other. And so it's a very interesting subject. You know, I liked American history, I loved it. But for some reason, I started writing songs in my second semester of law school, which makes no sense. And by the time I graduated, the first ones I wrote were horrible. But by the time I graduated, I'd written a few I thought were pretty good, and I felt like, I'm sure I'm gonna be a lawyer, but I should get this out of my system. I'm gonna take some songs to some music publishers in New York City. They're gonna listen to my songs, they're gonna go, well, they're not bad, it's a tough business, kid, you could be a lawyer, it's a no-brainer. Go on my merry way, I'll be a lawyer, I wouldn't think about what if I had tried, but to my amazement, I got signed to publishing deals by these guys, and they started giving me advances against future royalties. I was shocked, completely stunned. And then I had a chance encounter, as Robert mentioned, with a great then American artist. Some of you may remember Richie Havens. And he began doing a song of mine in his concerts that got a lot of attention. So this was quite destabilizing. The whole thing was just like very interesting. And it sent me down a different path, you know. And the thing is, I really couldn't sing. I could make a little demo. They would put me together with writers or people, hopefully somebody would do my songs who could sing them. And then I had this funky experience where I had this one song I thought was like, be sexy if a woman would do it. I told my publisher, the two big female artists at this time when I was in my early 20s, one was, remember a woman by the name of Pat Benatar? She had this hit, Hit Me With Your Best Shot. And the other big record at that time was a record called Betty Davis Eyes. This woman's name was Kim Carnes. It was the #1 record in the world. So I said to my publisher, send this song to them. I think they might do it. It would be really hot if they did it. And he sent them the song, and I went off on a 5-week wilderness trip to Alaska. And when I came back, I was in a record store in Grand Central Station in New York City, and here's Kim Carnes' new album, the follow-up album to Betty Davis Eyes. I look at track number 4 on the back of the album. It's the title of the song I told my publisher to send her. I'm like, God damn, I'm gonna be a gazillionaire. This is ridiculous, right? The follow-up album to Betty Davis Eyes. And I'm all excited. I tell the kid in the store, drop the needle on 4. It's my song. I'm like, I'm frothing at the mouth. He puts the song, puts the record on, puts track number 4. It starts, it's not my song. And I'm like, how could this be? It's an unusual title. So the coincidence level of my publisher sending her the song with that title winds up on the album, it's not my song. It's like, what? Then it got to the chorus, and it was my chorus. I was like, what? Let me see the album. I look, who's credited as the writer of the song? Kim Carnes, I'm the record producer. And at the time, I had like a music business attorney. He was negotiating my publishing deals with these people. I got on the phone with him. I was like, ah! You know, and he said, chill out. Clearly, we have a lawsuit. You know, we can prove the song was sent to her. We have to see if the record does any business or there'll be nothing to fight over. Record went right down the drain. You never heard of Kim Carnes again. Didn't do any business. But it soured me on this plan I had. So I had to spend a lot of years trying to figure out how to sing my own songs. In the meantime, I kept getting into the West. I became obsessed with getting up on top of the highest mountain peaks I could get up on top of, and into the remotest places in the American desert I could get myself into. And eventually these two parallel lines converged. I became a slightly better singer, and I hatched the idea of making an album of songs which reflected my connection to this mythic subject of the West. And that's what we're performing in the first part of this concert. The album is called Ride. We're gonna play a song from it called Object of My Affection. I do wanna mention that Robert did assure me before the concert that it is totally legal to dance at the library tonight. Okay, you guys be very still. And what we have on the back half of this is kind of a rock and roll type situation. And if we start playing that stuff and you guys just like sit still like rocks, we're just gonna give you ballads the rest of the night, okay? So I just want you to understand what's going on here. This one's called Object of My Affection. And I know you don't care about nothing. You just smile and pass me by. So I will be serenading by your window tonight, singing, come to me, my soul surrenders. Show me the way to your heart. You are the object of my affection. Can I be your sweetheart? Through all times of stormy weather, who'll be there to calm you down? They'll say, don't they go together when we go riding into town? Saying, come to me, my soul surrenders. Show me the way to your heart. You are the object of my affection. Can I be your sweetheart? We'll go out upon the prairie, put our roots down in the ground, shout it out across the county. We'll get by together now, saying, come to me, my soul surrenders. Show me the way to your heart. You are the object of my affection. Can I be your sweetheart? You are the object of my affection. Can I be your sweetheart? Thank you. What do you think I introduced these renegades to you? Let's give it up for Jeff St. Pierre on the bass. Thank you. On the drums, Ariel Bernstein on the drums. Very much. And the very Steve Kirkman on the guitar. Thank you. We're just getting warmed up, actually. 1, breathing in my ear. Throw me a bone and I can steer from here. Daddy, dear old daddy, took my mama and put me out. If his ass is up in heaven, set it down below the ground. Put it in my jacket pocket, put it in my hand to hold. Shake it loud and rub it double. Scratch my back and you can rule my soul. Brown-skinned girl so young and sticky, she make crows of all the rest. Bring her back in chains and lay me one skin beneath her breast. Put it in my jacket pocket, put it in my hand to hold. Shake it loud and rub it double. Scratch my back and you can rule my soul. I laid waste to Sarajevo, raised Cain in New Orleans, checked to the Berlin Hilton, and seated 40 blue-eyed tees. Put it in my jacket pocket, put it in my hand to hold. Shake it loud and rub it double. Scratch my back and you can rule my soul. Scratch my back, see? Man to be his puppet. You gave man his one way out. Life on earth has many pleasures. What will be we can't debate about. Put it in my jacket pocket, put it in my hand to hold. Shake it loud and rub it double. Scratch my back and you can rule my soul. Scratch my back and you can rule my soul. Scratch my back and you can rule my soul. Devil came down from Idaho, and he Jones and he Jimmy and he Jan. He crashed through the air on a jet black mare with a white hot hammer in his hand. And the people bowed down as he spun his head around, and the sky rained muddy on the land. The devil came down from Idaho, and he Jones, Danny, Jimmy, and he Jan. The devil came down from Idaho. He hitched his castle to a cloud. He thrashed his mare to the house of the mayor. He dragged the wife out by her hair. And the judge cried stop, and the preacher called the cop. But by then their laughing filled the air. The devil came down from Idaho, Danny Jones, Danny Jimmy, Danny Jam. Everyone will be the same. You won't even need your name. Every church in every town, ashes, ashes all fall down. Everyone will be the same. You won't even need your name. Every church in every town, ashes, ashes all fall down. The devil came down from Idaho. Danny Jones, Danny Jimmy, Danny Jam. He whispered smoke till the mob mind woke with the white hot hammer in his hand. And he jonesed in drag and he jimmied like a hag, and the sky rained money on the land. The devil came down from Idaho, and he jonesed and he jimmied and he jammed. He jonesed and jimmied and he jammed. He jonesed and jimmied and he jammed. Thank you, thank you. Hey. So most of you guys, it sound like you remember Richie Havens, right? Some of you, yes, no, what, you think? Yeah, okay, cool. So I'll tell you the story of like how I happened to meet him and he wound up doing my song. I was, like I said, I graduated law school and I got signed to these publishing deals, and so it was kind of like I couldn't just go to work in a law firm because that would have like blown that whole thing up, because that's like, you know, pedal to the metal, right? And so I had this kind of routine. I lived in Chelsea, and every morning I'd walk down to the West Village to this like greasy spoon place and have my breakfast, have my poached eggs, read my New York Times, and wait for my royalty checks to show up. So that was kind of my lifestyle at that particular moment. And it was this like very weird shaped place on Hudson Street. It had a very big storefront, like twice the width of the stage here, and it was maybe 12 feet deep. So it was very kind of narrow with this big front. It's a very unique store in Manhattan, kind of famous. And I was sitting there doing just that, reading my Times, eating my poached eggs, minding my business. Richie Havens walked in to use the payphone. Now, this is a very big guy. If you've ever seen Richie Havens up close, he's huge, and is a small place, right? And I looked up, and I thought I was hallucinating. And I don't know what possessed me, because normally I would get kind of introverted, like Richie Havens, but I just went, Richie Havens, sit down and have a cup of coffee with me. I don't know what possessed me. I just like attacked him. And he looked at me and he just said, well, you know, I just came in to use the payphone. Okay. And he sat down and we just started shooting it, you know, and totally hit it off. And it was a breakfast place. So 2 hours later, they're throwing the chairs up on the tables and kicking us out. And Richie didn't know if I could write a song to save my life, but he liked me, so he took a napkin, he wrote down the number of his office, and he said, call my secretary, I'd love to hear your songs, make an appointment, come in and play me some of your songs. So 2 days later, I'm walking into Richie Havens' office with my little cassette tapes of my like crappy little demos, right? And I'm like, I'm really nervous. I mean, because it's one thing for like music publishers to give me some advances and tell me they like the songs and pitch them to different people and so on. But this is an artist that I really think is a great artist, who I really admire, who is about to hear my songs. And so this is a situation I haven't been in before, and I'm really intimidated. I'm very, very nervous. And so I'm ushered into Richie's office, and he's got this tiny little table and a Panasonic cassette recorder in front of him, and I sit down with him, and I mean it. I'm like, I don't know, I'm borderline shaking. And what I didn't know was that when you sit down with Richie Havens in a situation like this, the first thing you have to do is smoke a bowl. And so now I'm like paranoid. I'm like, I can't believe it. I was like, I just want to leave. I'm like, I feel like really, feel like disoriented. I just want to get out of there, right? But I couldn't do that, so I gave him my cassette. I want to crawl under the table. I'm stoned. I'm with Richie Havens. This is surrealistic. It's just not, you know. And he puts the cassette in the machine and he hits play. Music starts. And Richie's like closes his eyes and he's like bopping to the song. You know, and he's got his hands and he's got like rings on every friggin' finger and he's closing his eyes and he's bopping to the song. And I'm like, wow, you know, at the end of the song he goes, wow, that was really good. He plays another one. Same reaction. End of the day, it's like he listens to 3 or 4 or 5 songs. He tells me, man, you are a great songwriter. This is what I want you to do. Every time you make demos like this, come in, bring them, play them for me. Just make another appointment. You keep doing this with me. You just keep doing this with me. So I walked out of Richie Havens' office, as you might imagine, on cloud 9. I was flipped out. Richie Havens loves my songs. This is like amazing. So much better than anything that had happened so far. And so now I can make some more demos and do what Richie told me. I make an appointment. I come out. I'm totally cool now. I sit down, know what's going to happen. We smoke a bowl. Richie's going to like my song. It's all good, you know? And I sit down with him. I play him the songs. He loves them. I think it was after the 3rd visit. And the next day he called me. And he says to me, Mark, hold on a second. He put the receiver down. In those days we had receivers. You guys, some of you remember receivers. He puts the receiver down on the table and he says, hold on. And he starts playing me a song that I had played him a demo of the day before when we were together. Only it had been Richie Havensized. And what that means is Richie is famous for remaking famous songs by the Beatles and Bob Dylan and, you know, great songwriters into just a totally his own unique style, reconfiguring them and reinterpreting them. It was really different than what I had played him, but it was really beautiful. And he said, so here's what's going on. Tonight there's a concert at Carnegie Hall to promote better relations between American and Soviet citizens. Carly Simon, Pete Seeger, blah, blah, blah. We're doing this. I'm doing the song. There's 2 tickets at the box office in your name. So that night I go to Carnegie Hall. Richie Havens does a song and people flip out. Like 2 nights later, I think I was out playing somewhere, and the next morning a friend called me and he said, Richie was on the CBS Evening News, a clip of him doing the song at an anti-nuclear rally in Central Park. And then that morning, the lyrics were quoted in the New York Times. Now, Richie Havens wound up doing this song in his concerts for over 25 years. If you go onto YouTube and you type in Richie Havens, The Last One, that's the name of the song, you'll hear a breathtaking performance that he gave of this song at the Glastonbury Festival in England in mid-1980s, I think. So, you know, he was a big influence on me, big reason I'm here. I also think he's a great, great American artist, totally unique. Like I can listen to a lot of artists and I can hear who they loved growing up by listening to the way they sing. If I listen to Van Morrison, for instance, I know he adored Ray Charles when I listen to Van Morrison sing. If I listen to Tom Waits, Louis Armstrong's horn is kind of in his voice, right? But when I listen to Richie Havens, nobody has ever sounded like that before Richie Havens. So it's a true American original. And whenever I do this song, I like to dedicate it to him. So the song is called The Last One. Roads closed, the water is high, it's raining fire and the sky's alight. Oh, don't run, forget your gun, 'cause this one's gonna be the last one. So long, Jerusalem, the Grand Canyon and the Parthenon, oh, all one, God's will be done. And this one's gonna be the last one. Lights out. Oh, the bridge is burning. Smoke covers my home, sweet home. No sign of the Lord's returning. Just the end of the road. Lay back, unplug your phones, remove your skin and throw away the bones. Take a long look at what we've done. This one's gonna be your last one. Lights out. Oh, the bridge is burning. Smoke covers my home, sweet home. No sign, no, of the Lord's returning. Just the end of the road. So hard to understand. I love my country and my fellow man. Just a deaf, dumb citizen. This one's gonna be the last one. This one's gonna be the last one. Guys are going to dance tonight, but we're going to play something sometimes people would dance to so that you can if you want to. Always stop smoking as soon as I can. Then I do it again. I never stop rocking to the beat of life. I'm crazy about my baby most of the time. She drives me crazy. Never stop rocking to the beat of life. Go, man, go, man, go, man, go, man, go. Pedal to the middle, that's the only way I know. It's wicked in the city, there's thunder on the land. I like both better, I never stop rocking to the beat of life. Go man, go man, go man, go man, go. Metal to the metal, that's the only way I know. It's wicked in the city, thunder on the land. I like both better, I never stop rocking to the beat of life. Go man, go man, go man, go man, go. Pedal to the metal, that's the only way I know. You gotta love people, don't try to understand them, even if it kills you. I never stop rocking to the beat of life. One more time. Go man, go man, go man, go man, go. Pedal to the metal, that's the only way I know. You got happy when I'm walking in the Utah desert, sleeping with the lizards. I never stop rocking to the beat of life. I never stop rocking to the beat of life. I never stop rocking to the great big beat of life. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, Yahoo! All right, you guys. I mean, let's give it up for these dancers over there. That's what I want to see. Now, look, I got to talk to you guys. We need to have a heart-to-heart now, okay? Like, sometimes people will say to me, what kind of music is it that you guys play? What is it? Is it like country? Is it blues? Is it rock and roll? What the hell is this stuff, you know? And My answer is we just play all the different varieties of American folk music, okay? And so, now you guys are smart in Tewksbury, and so I figure you guys know that whenever you play folk music, there's always gonna be a sing-along. You know this, right? Here in Tewksbury? Okay, right? Kumbaya, my Lord, kumbaya, right? You know what I'm talking about. So let's be honest here. This is the heart-to-heart part. We're working our asses off. It's hot as hell up here. You guys are sitting on your butts. Other than these few people here, nobody's dancing. I think it's time we give you guys a little bit of responsibility. Are you with me, Tewksbury? Are you with me? All right, okay, cool. So now here. There's nothing to be nervous about. I am going to teach you your part. And then we'll do like a little dry run, so make sure nobody's gonna get hurt. And then we're gonna go for it. And you're gonna join and take some responsibility on this next one. Are we good? All right, so this is your part. Here is your part. Don't be sitting down over there, you dancers. Don't be sitting down, not for this next one. Okay, here's your part. I like to stay up late. I like to play my guitar. Now, does anybody have this memorized yet? I like to stay up late. Oh, it's a good group. It's a good group. Okay. So let me show you now how it goes. It goes like this. I like to stay up late. I like to play my guitar. I like to stay up late. I like to play my guitar. Now we're gonna do it again. But you're gonna do it too, okay? All right, you're gonna do it too. So let's try it together on this one, Tewksbury. I like to stay up late. I like to play my guitar. I can't hear anybody. Are you singing? I like to stay up late. A little louder, please, and play my guitar. Stop. Let's be honest, it's a little friggin' mellow, okay? So like, here's the deal. I'll take it to start, but by the time we get to the end of this thing, I want you guys standing on these chairs. I want to see your vocal cords. Okay, here we go. 2, 3, 4. I like to stay up late. Are you there? I like to play my guitar. I like to stay up late. Can we get a little more? Turn up the volume. I like to play my guitar. I met an LA fox. She loved to twist and shake. She took me to her room and gave me milk and cake. But when the fox undressed, I said, I'm sorry, miss. There's just 2 things I like, and you ain't on that list. I like to stay up late. I can't hear you guys. I like to play my guitar. I like to stay up late. I like to play my guitar. Don't need no disco stash. Don't need no cocaine jeans. Don't need no backstage pass. Don't need no MTV. I've been to Vietnam. I've been to Waikiki. Been down to Istanbul, y'all. It don't mean shit to me. I like to stay up late. A little louder, please. I like to play my guitar, Tewksbury. I like to stay up late. I like to play my guitar. Play your guitar, Steve Kirkman. your guitar, Jeff St. Pierre. Losing touch. I say, well, that may be. You never have enough. I'd rather be like me. I like to stay up late. Big finish, tuck too. I like to play my guitar. I like to stay up late. I like to play my guitar. Did to make all that echo happen here out of nowhere, do you know? This is like a ridiculous amount of echo, and we're getting to the end of the show. What is this coming from? That's amazing. I think it was you guys got so excited, something like backfired. Well, anyway, thank you guys for listening to us tonight, spending a beautiful summer night. Totally. We had a lot of fun playing for you. We got one last tune. I think we should also take a moment to acknowledge the role a local library plays in a community. Making events like this happen is a lot of work. Let's give it up for your local library. That's right. Okay. I do want to mention that when we play in for-profit situations, like music festivals, ticketed events, and so on, this Ride album that we have out, it sells for $1,000. But given the civic nature of this event, you know, like we understand nobody's getting rich off this deal. You know what I mean? It's a community hang, I understand. And so at the end of this concert, after this last song, I hope you guys are listening. We're gonna chuck these Ride albums at you for $10. I know, it's ridiculous. I'm just saying, I want you guys to be aware of the nature of the opportunity being presented to you at the Tuck Tewksbury Library here tonight, okay? And keep in mind that when you leave, they're yours. You heard of eBay? Enough said, right? Okay. So we got one more to do. I just got to tune up here. Well, how cool is it to be able to spend a summer night outdoors, music and hanging out together? It's really like, you know, it's like one of the best things about being on this planet is the way I think of it. You know, and probably if you like traveled through the entire solar system, this is likely the only place that something like this is going on in, you know? And so we're really lucky to be here. And this last song is a song that asks you to look at, you know, what you can do, what your responsibility is to make sure things always stay like that, okay? This song is called Bird on the Wing, And thanks so much for listening. We've had a blast playing for you guys tonight. Like a bird on the wing, leaving today for southern answers, taking his chances, hopes are high, a gleam in his eye. But no matter where he goes, the sky remains the same for him. For there's a crisis in the wind, many miles to go, and time slowly closing in. Like a bird on the wing, spending his time alone, busy thinking, rising and sinking, looking down on country and town. But no matter where he goes, the sky remains the same for him. For his visions of paradise grow dim, many miles to go, and time slowly closing in. Somewhere the smoke has cleared and the sun has broken through. Somewhere clear waters run, coyotes cry out to the moon. Like a bird on the wing, too long on the road, destination uncertain, too small for the burden, so it seems, to carry my dreams. For no matter where he goes, the sky remains the same for him. And oh, how the marching midnight spin, many miles to go, and time slowly closing in. Many miles to go, and time slowly closing in. Wait for me, wait.
Thank you so much, guys. See you next time.
Thank you.